We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. And Tyler, it's going to be another quick show today, but this isn't our fault. It's only a 2-game slate. One more week of this regular season nonsense, but I just got done recording the Wagering World, and I had mentioned to those guys, you know what's so crazy about these guys punting on the regular season? Look at the West standings. Every game matters. So that game that you punted in January, that could have put you a game ahead. And it starts to add up. And I wonder how many teams would have liked to have a win or two. And this seems to happen every year, especially out West. In the East, it's a different story. But boy, I'm really surprised, for this whole regular season doesn't matter. There's a lot of games that really matter this final week. So we'll be breaking those down. Unfortunately, tonight's slate does kind of have some good ones, but not those heavyweight matchups that we'll be looking forward to later this week. How much NBA did you watch this weekend, and how are you feeling overall about the final week of this NBA regular season?
None spread. We had UFC this weekend. We had Final Four basketball. That took up the time. Didn't watch much NBA at all. It's also just, we talk about it every week. It's the end of the season. I'm not watching these third stringers run around. These games mean nothing. So right when we get to the playoffs is when I'll get back to watching more, but end of the season watch is not for me.
All right, I'm kind of a sicko. I did watch. I was really surprised to see that Los Angeles beat Oklahoma City, and almost furthers the idea that as good as Oklahoma City is, there are some flaws, and a veteran playoff team could take advantage of them. So I thought that was interesting. Of course, Houston's win over Golden State this weekend was another surprise to me. Golden State's traditionally done well against Houston. And the guy I do Wagering World with 5-star, he's a big Houston guy. He's really excited about that team. I tried to temper his expectations a little bit for their playoff run. But, hey, I think that they have plenty of good reasons to be excited out in Houston. So you talked about watching the Final Four, Tyler. Just a real quick bonus. Do you have a play for tonight? Because I'm on the Cougars myself.
Florida's looked unstoppable.
Yeah, they have.
Their guards hit a bunch of threes.
Yeah.
I really don't watch much college basketball either outside of the tournament, so my assessment comes with about 5 games of watching them play.
Right. It's just for fun, right? We're NBA.
Give me Florida. I'll go opposite. Someone will get bragging rights.
All right, and someone will be victory lapping that one tomorrow. Okay, a quick show today because it's a small slate, and the first one involves my favorite team, Tyler, the Sacramento Kings. I didn't mention watching that one yesterday either. Imagine my surprise when the Sacramento Kings are 10-point underdogs in Cleveland, and I'm thinking this is a terrible matchup for us. They play defense. We don't. But you see, this defense wins championships. Yeah, that's back in 85. This is 2025. And when a team gets hot from behind, shooting, even a strong defensive team can't keep up, to be fair. And we can argue about Cleveland since January. They're like 14th in overall defense. So they haven't been the juggernaut they once were. I wonder if they're just feeling themselves because they're so far ahead, or maybe that early season defensive success was a mirage. Regardless, so the Kings are coming off that win. Pistons coming to this game, Tyler, losers of 3 of their last 4 games. Their most recent game was on Saturday night. They lost at home to Memphis. And you and I don't rate Memphis highly. That was Cade Cunningham's first game back in the lineup. He had like 25-7, but it still wasn't enough. But I expect that we see a better performance from the Pistons tonight. I'll just go ahead and spoil it. I'm on the Pistons here. I bet it. If you're on nukethehouse.com, that is on our sheet already. Kings 3-12 against the spread on back-to-backs this year. We talk about let down spots and betting the schedule. Kings played yesterday. Pistons played Saturday. Pistons coming off a loss. Kings coming off a big win. Talking about momentum isn't real. It happens a lot of times in the NBA. Seems like a huge lit down spot for my favorite team. What do you think, Tyler?
Oh yeah, you guys are getting smoked tonight.
Yeah,
they're beating you guys by margin. It's always the first game back for these like major ball handlers and the guy that just always has the ball in their hands on a certain team. When they come back from an injury, first game it seems like they always lose. So he comes back. When they lose a couple before that, they lose another one. I think they rebound big right here, and he rebounds big in a way. You can get a double-double on him, and they win at plus 240. I also don't hate just doing a 25 plus points and they win at plus 120. So I think he has a big game. I think they would beat you guys by double digits. So I'd be on Detroit and some K props.
I mean, there's so many ways to fade Sacramento here. The other way to do it is just Pistons team total.
Yeah.
In their last 6 games that they played back to backs, they've given up more than 120 points, and that's what it's sitting at right now. So, just I love the Kings, and hey, I'd love to be wrong here, and I've lost a unit before, so I want to be the end of the world. Just does not seem like a good spot here for me. If you want to make a couple arguments for them, though, Detroit's 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 hosting Sacramento. Hold on, though, before we get too excited about that stat. Detroit's been pretty bad until this year. So I don't really think that means a lot, but I just had to bring it up. Total's gone under 4 of Detroit's last 6 games. They are only 4-8 against the spread in their last 12, but I think that's because they came out so hot, right? They had the longest win streak after the All-Star break. Bettors caught on to them. You've been paying the premium. Now that they've lost a couple games, I think we're back to a better, more fair price on the market here. Sacramento also 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 against Detroit. So the Kings lost at home as favorites to Detroit when they matched up earlier this year. Any other thoughts on this game before we move on to the joke of the game tonight?
Nope, that's it for me on that one.
I wrote today for Bookmakers Review, Tyler, and I talked about, we can argue about too many threes and not enough defense. But to me, the real problem in the NBA is tanking. And I think a big source of this is this protected picks. And we're seeing it tonight with the Philadelphia 76ers. They traded away their pick and they made it top 6 protected. And
I think spread might have froze on us. Got to wait for them to Starlink back in for us from the woods.
Starlink strikes back. I think there was no way that they thought that that they would be having the pick this year. But since it was top 6 protected, the season starts going to shambles and they shut everyone down. And Philadelphia has been an absolute joke since then. Yes, they covered against Minnesota, but they still lost and they were 16.5 points favorites or underdogs. Before that, Tyler, not only did they lose every game, they had failed to cover 9 games in a row. This is a joke. It's no only way that I can approach this game is taking Miami, and if they lose, so be it. But 76ers aren't trying to win, and we've seen this with tanking teams. If someone gets hot, they're just going to put them on the bench. It's just double jeopardy. These pick protections are killing me, and I think it's really making this part of the season tough to watch as fans, which is why I think we'll see a great rating for that national championship game tonight. Any thoughts on this game? Let's be honest. If this was a 10-game slate, I don't even think we would have spent this much time on it.
Yeah, there's no way I'm laying that many points with Miami. I mean, 4 of their 5 starters are on the injury report. Yeah. Their picks also protected 1-14. So, they fall out of the play-in or lose, they're going to own their pick back more than likely.
Right.
And they're going to give it up next year. So, they're kind of teetering this weird stretch. Just a game I don't want to get involved in. We're betting Detroit, and that's it tonight.
All right, yeah, and that's fair enough. I'll give the people some stats since they tuned in, and we've only been on the air for 8 minutes. But Philadelphia, as I mentioned earlier, 1-9 against the spread in their last 10. Maybe a different way to look at it, but let's be honest, we're going to be watching the national championship game. But total's gone over in 13 of Philadelphia's last 18 games, but it's gone under 5 of the last 7 times they played against Philadelphia. Miami 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 at home, but I didn't look that up, but I'm pretty sure none of them were laying 13. Miami 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. Philadelphia 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against Miami, and I believe Miami's covered the first 3 times they played this season. So, I mean, I wrote this up this morning, and I just wrote this is simple. I mean, it's not even much of a handicap. You bet against Philadelphia or you don't bet the game. And I'm fine throwing a little bit on Miami too here. I know that 13 seems like too much, but this is a G League team. And, I mean, they should offer refunds. If you bought a ticket, this isn't a National Basketball Association level game. This is a G League level game. We'll probably see a better level of play tonight from the national championship game. So we're not going to fix the NBA, and they're not going to fix it either. But really, really disappointing second game here. Tyler, we have a 10-game slate for tomorrow, though. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, so that should be fun. We'll be looking ahead to that. We're going to go at 5 Eastern tomorrow, right, Tyler?
Yep.
Hopefully I get out of CarMax in time. Some interesting games. The Hawks and the Magic will take the court tomorrow, and that should be an interesting preview of what I expect to be the first round playing game. Kind of gives us an idea of what that line might be next week, because I assume the Magic are going to have home court in that. Magic lane 4.5 here. Are you surprised by that line? And do you think we should get in here early? I would think Orlando would take money. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think we'll be all right. I'm not betting the NBA early, so you could dabble into that dark magic.
Celtics are only laying 2.5 against New York on the Knicks tomorrow. What's up with that, Tyler?
I'd have to check injury reports.
It seems like it should be -5. I'm just giving you a preview. Thunder are going to rematch with the Lakers. Do you think that they just, talk about bounce back spots and let down spots? Do you think this is the classic zigzag here with Oklahoma City? And of course, we'll be going over all these games tomorrow. We just need a couple more minutes for this show.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely they probably zigzag, but we'll save everything for tomorrow.
Yeah, another game that I'm kind of interested in doing some more work on before tomorrow's show is the Timberwolves and the Bucks. Just because these are two teams that I don't consider to be title contenders, but that they're both going all out right now. They're trying to get that playoff position and still have some fun players to watch, right? I don't mind watching Giannis and Ant. I don't mind having that on my TV. It's definitely much better than Miami and Philadelphia. I'll tell you that much. So not as ugly a slate as tomorrow, right? And we can easily just skip games like Pacers, Wizards, and Grizzlies, Hornets. So we'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. The only bet that we have right now, and we're just giving it to the people, it's a 2-game slate. Everyone's been watching NCAA anyways. We're going to lay the points with the Pistons tonight, and we will see how that goes. Tyler, final thoughts for the people?
Yeah, I mean, short slate, probably watching the national championship game over the NBA tonight, so don't blame me on that one, but bet the Pistons.
There you have it. We'll be back tomorrow. Nuke the house.